Cornell down the field, end zone. That is a touchdown.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Fans Only Sports Network's live broadcast of the Burillville Holiday Classic from Levy Ice Rink here in Burrillville, Rhode Island. Today's first game in the Burrillville Holiday Classic tournament between the Burrillville Broncos and the North Smithfield Northmen. I'm your play-by-play commentator, Chris Hetu. I will be leading you through all of today's games from the 26th through the 28th from Levy Ice Rink. Giving you commentary all over the place. For all of you folks tuning in to today's matchup, welcome aboard. And for those of you looking to tune into the rest of the games, if you have a full season pass already on Fans Only Sports, you have access to all of these tournament games here on Fans Only Sports Network. If you would like to watch an individual game that your team represents, you can go ahead and buy individual passes once again at fansonlysports.com. That's sports with a Z at the end. And you can purchase your full season and single game streaming passes. Once again, happy holidays and a Merry Christmas to all of you folks, and a blessed New Year, as the new year, 2023, is rapidly approaching us in just a few days, less than a week in fact. But all of you have tuned in for some good hockey, once again between the Burrillville Broncos and the North Smithfield Northmen. Both teams coming out today with their JV squads to play against one another, so it should be a good matchup between the two. And we'll see how they all square up, but both sides going to their respective sides of the ice, as I believe we're going to announce some starting lineups today. And before we get into today's matchup, let's give the word from today's game sponsors. Today's game is brought to you in part by Joseph Lammy, 696 Reservoir Ave in Cranston, Rhode Island. Joseph Lammy. Go to josephlammy.com for more information. Joseph Lammy, attorney at law. And then finally by our Elite Recruits, with access to 3,000 schools and 80,000 coaches across 38 NCAA sports. Be seen by being a part of our Elite Recruits. Go to www.oureliterecruits.com to sign for more information. And the starting lineups here for the North Smithfield Northmen. No bias here, of course. North Smithfield being my alma mater. Watched them win a couple of D2 championships at my time. I was back in 2015, 2014, I want to say. But the Northmen have always been a very solid Division II squad. And, of course, when we get to the Burrillville Broncos, that's Burrillville, a huge rival of the North Smithfield Northmen. So what a way to kick off the Burrillville Holiday Classic than between two very close bordering town rivals. So now the Burrillville Broncos, no strangers to Division I hockey, as they are without a doubt one of the best schools in the state. And with the slap of the sticks of the ice, we are all set and ready to go following the national anthem. As both teams prepare to get set up, 22.5-minute halves is what we'll be playing here from Burillville. And we're just about ready to kick off the Burillville Holiday Classic. 3 straight days, as a reminder, from the 26th through the 28th. Chris Hetu calling the plays for each and every single one of these games. 9 games in total to be played here from Levy Ice Rink. And we thank all of you Fans Only Sports Network fans for tuning in. And we hope you all enjoyed your holiday and your Christmas yesterday. And we hope that the new year rings in a lot of great new memories and fortunes to come. And of course, for these teams, good seasons and fortunes on their seasons, for that matter. So we'll come back to center ice as both JV squads get ready to face off at center. And we are officially underway from Levy Ice Rink here in Burillville. Off the draw, North Smithfield dumps it into the zone. And the Northmen trying to set up an offensive attack. On the far side, it's taken in by Camden Governo. Governo sends it up there to Connell. Connell dumps it down that time to Doobie. And on the near side boards, taken around here by Patrick Poisson. Poisson trying to get it up to Staples. It's dumped back in towards the net and bounced off a defender, and the Northmen will get back on side at center. And back behind the line there, behind the net, Mansloff. Puck shot right at him that time. First shot of the day on net. And it'll be stopped down at the blue line. Nearly dumped away. It's going to get dumped into the other side of things, and icing the call on the floor. Once again, today's game's brought to you in part by Joseph Lammy, 696 Reservoir Ave in Cranston, Rhode Island. For more information, visit josephlammy.com. Joseph Lammy, attorney at law. And then finally by RR Elite Recruits, with access to 3,000 schools and 80,000 coaches across 38 NCAA sports. For athletes looking to play at the next level, be seen by being a part of RR Elite Recruits. Go to www.rreliterecruits.com to sign up for more information. The Broncos send this puck the opposite way, and icing going to be the call on the floor one more time, and we'll face off again in Burillville side of the ice. And we'll face off once again on the Burillville side of the ice. Second straight time we've repeated that segment. Well, that's at least in this sequence. And back to the blue line. Across through center. A little bit of a miss pass over to Perillo. And behind the net. Taken away by Turner. Turner struggling to get it away that time from Ganderson. Slapped down by the stick of Laramie. It's dumped around the zone. And on the near side boards, it's dumped back again by Perillo. Traveling behind the net is Connell. Connell sends it uphill and back to center. Laramie with the pass that time to Fournette. Fournette, the puck's displaced as it's taken away by Gravel. Nate Gravel, that shot wide to the left, hitting the boards. And now back to center. Trapping the puck down right in front and flipped away by Polachek. Freedom given to Poisson. And dump between the legs. Puck going A-wire a little bit as Poisson can't seem to come up with it. Good movement there by Espinal. Espinal trying to get it away, and it'll come back to center. Northman going to have to get back on side before it's dumped in by Pickering. Poisson with the pass that time. And flipped back up to center. A whiff on the dump in. And the Northmen trying to shepherd this across behind the net. Trying to set up right in the slot. Poisson intercepts the puck. There's no Northman attackers there to meet it. Poisson, one-on-one chance. Oh, and that puck a little shanked there, and the Northmen dodge a bullet in the early going of this one. behind the net, and it'll be taken up by Carey. Nick Carey through center. It's dumped in by Staples. And the puck dangling in front of the net. Dangerous situation as Connell was the one with the possession. And at the point, it's dumped back in and then dumped back to center by the Northman. Good chance for Logan Witten to take a shot off of Mansloff's pads. A save. And on the near side. Right in front of the home bench and now in front of the away. Through the neutral territory to Witten. Witten with the feed that time to Governo. And Mansloff going to do the smart thing and glove this one down and stop play. 18:49, once again, 2 halves for each of these tournament games here from Levy in the Burillville Holiday Classic. And the face-off on the far side dot. Back through center over to Connell. And now that time, Tartruk dumped into the zone. Chasing it down for the Broncos is Davis. And it'll go back to center. Turner has it. And he'll send it across the benches. And dumped into the Broncos territory. Behind Mansloff, he'll move the puck away with the stick. And from the point, shot deflected as Turner tried to send one down. And Poisson trying to move the puck away from behind Mansloff's cage. Fournette, or excuse me, that's Nias, and whistle called, icing on the floor. It's been a very slow start to the matchup. As we can see, both teams appear to be evenly matched, and as we mentioned earlier, JV squads getting their respective time on the floor today. And off the face-off. It's dumped around the cage. Maneuvering back to center ice. Northmen have to get back on side and clear. Fournette to meet the puck first. Fournette, a varsity starter. He'll dump it off to Perillo. And Anderson tried to stop the puck down. It's still onside. And a hard slap shot. This one hitting the protective glass. This one rolls right into the back of the net. Shot, score. The puck was dangling right in front, and the Broncos took the advantage there with a 1-0 lead off the back of number 6. That's Patrick Murphy. So an early 1-0 lead for the Broncos as Patrick Murphy found the threshold. And your starters in net tonight that we didn't get to mention. In net from North Smithfield, Michael Tremblay. And in net for the Burillville Broncos, Devin Mansloff. Off the face-off, the Northmen come up with the win. It's taken away that time by Nias, and it's back to center. Flipped up, and now a good chance for Governo. Governo, one-on-one, but that opportunity closed up fast. Governo trying to maneuver, and a good poke check from Nias. Nate Nias through center. He'll cross the blue line onside. Having a lot of troubles. There's 2 Northmen all over him, and Staples going to help him out. Sending one right down, and deflected off the pads of Tremblay. And a whistle to stop play as the puck went out of play. Broncos varsity squad had a tough game against Hendricken here last weekend. Final score in the game was 6-4. However, the Broncos really proved themselves. Shot deflected off, a couple of rebounds that time, and a save by Tremblay. 3 shots, in fact, as we have to stop for the pig pile right in front of the net. But the Broncos trailed in the game 5-1, managed to come back and make it 5-4, but an empty net attempt. managed to put the game out of reach, and Endricken walked away with the win. Head into the box now for the Northmen, Alex Pickering. So the Broncos with the 1-0 advantage will go on the power play for the first time today. But getting back to the point on the Broncos, already starting off to a very strong Division I season. They are now 2-2 on the year, but they are one of the top scoring units in hockey in the state of Rhode Island. So this squad definitely going to bring a lot to the table this year. That pass, it was intended to hit Anderson in the slot, and the Northmen managed to clear it off the interception. Puck taken away here. Good opportunity from Champagne. And this puck going a little wide to the left. Oh, a hard check right in the back. No hand up, so no penalty called. That's a clean hockey hit. Under a minute and a half now on the power play. Here come the Broncos. And that one deflecting off of Tremblay. And puck shuffled back to center ice. Sent behind the back. It looked like he was waiting for a defender to shadow for the pass, but Broncos managed to give the PK unit a free pass, I should say. And this one back up to Carey. Under a minute now on the power play. Poke check back at center ice. And now maybe a shorthanded attempt coming, but it's cleared up quickly by Poisson as he boxed out Jackson Boyes. In the zone, under 45 seconds now, as there's a hard hit, and that's going to be a penalty. And some extracurriculars after the play was over. That could send multiple skaters to the box. And that's going to send Northman number 11, that's Jackson Boyes, and number 18, Patrick Poisson. So this should become a 4-on-3, which it will. So 2 minutes on the board for both players that just went in. And then still some extra time on the previous power play. So it'll go from a 4-on-3 to a 5-on-4. So 41 seconds on the first penalty against North Smithfield. Another 2 minutes there. And it'll actually be a 5-on-3. No, 4-on-3. So this pass over to Knees. This one a little wide to the left as he shuffles it down for Polacek. Polacek to Anderson in front of the net, and that is whiffed on. Another one coming down, the whole left side exposed. Anderson shadowed a little too far to the right that time. And the Northmen struggling to move this puck out. The Broncos really surrounding them in all aspects. 10 seconds remaining on the first power play. It'll become a 5-on-4, and this one sent back in the opposite direction. Or actually, it'll be a 4-on-4 for the remainder, excuse me. Got my numbers a little mixed up. Broncos. The first penalty expires, so we're at 4-on-4 hockey. Polacek. The pass that time over to Davis, and a whistle called for offsides. 1:06 remaining on each of those penalties. And 14:15 to go in the first half. So we'll face off back at neutral ice. And the Broncos take the face-off cleanly, and it's shuffled in by Laramie. Traveling behind the net is Champagne. And back cleared at center ice by Gravel, and it's poked back the other way and dumped into the zone from Carey. On the near side. And now taken back to center. Fournette. The pass up to Laramie, and it's dumped forward to Staples. Right in front, the 10th shot on net. Northmen only have 3 on the day so far. Broncos taking full advantage onside there, and whistle called for a penalty. It's going to go against Burillville. Correction, we'll just return to neutral ice. Might have to return the jacket. That's why. Back to center and brought back down to the floor by Anderson. Gabe Anderson. A lot of Northmen right in front. A chance right in front of the slot, and the Northmen clear it cleanly back to neutral territory. Davis flips it over to Niaz. And on the far side in front of the penalty box is another one hitting off of Tremblay. Already through the halfway point of this half. And another one checked back up to center. Shifting it, Davis on over to Niaz. Niaz crossing the blue line onside, has Murphy to shadow him. That one goes off of the backboards. And now Connell will move through center and dump it forward. Laramie to chase it down here. Behind the net and to the near side. And a good chance that the Northmen could have had set up. As both penalties expire moments ago, we're back to full strength hockey. Hard hit on these near side boards. This one rifling off, and a delayed penalty called. Or it might be for an injury. So a Northman down on the ice. He looks a little winded. We'll take ourselves a quick commercial break with 2:14 to go. You're watching Fans Only Sports. In, and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up, and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score! The handball shot, off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In, and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up, and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score! The handball shot, off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
And we welcome you back to Levy Ice Rink here in Burillville, Rhode Island. Score 1-0 as the Broncos lead the Northmen. And the injured player, number 6, Camden Governo. He was moving a lot down the ice earlier. Definitely a formidable offensive piece for this Northman offense. Definitely going to need him back for the season, and we hope the best for his health. But here come the Northmen, a good chance for Brandon Boudreau. This one shuffled behind the skates of Rodney Fournette. But a good chance. This one, however, deflecting into the netting and out of play. And off the face-off, Northmen come up with the win. This shot rifling down ice, but it will retreat back to center. Trapped down there by Artruk. And taken away that time by Gravel. Gravel sends it the opposite way for Champagne. And wrapped around the boards over to Pickering. Champagne. And the chance right in front was getting set for Artrus. And another one falling down is Gravel. This one rifling around Manslov's cage. And it'll come back to center. A breakaway chance potentially coming. And good job by the Northman D to stand up to that one and shut the play down cold on its tracks. Champagne now through center. Has Gravel in front. And he'll just opt to dump this puck in. Manslov stopping the puck behind the net as Davis comes into patrol. And it'll go around the opposite way. Anderson deflecting it off the boards, and it's sent back up and dumped back in that time by Pickering. Champagne to meet it first. Has it to Gravel. Champagne right in front of Mansloff, and the save off the rebound. And the puck back to the near side boards. Champagne sends another one on Mansloff. Another one coming at him. And the Broncos clear it. However, it's going to end up back on their side of the ice. Icing, your call on the floor. 10:24 left to go in half number one. And we're back in action off the face-off. Broncos come away with it as they dump it to the near side boards. And sent back over for Murphy. And now this time Carey. Carey trying to get some help from Poisson, but a good chance for Laramie to come in and give it off to Carey. Carey, the feed up to Murphy. Pat Murphy trying to lead for, that was Polachek a little bit. And now Carey going to have to start over for the Broncos right in front of the visiting bench. The puck sent back across the home bench. And Fournette back to him. Fournette. And it's dumped up by Pat Murphy. Couple of line changes coming out for both sides as we hit under the 10-minute mark in the first game of the Burillville Holiday Classic. In the offensive zone. Broncos couldn't keep it in, and now a good chance for Brandon Boudreau. Boudreau's rifles one at Mansloff, right in front! And the Broncos defense does its diligence, and the Northmen have to clear back at center ice. Pickering struggling there as Governeau's going to take it away. Camden Governeau nearly got hooked that time from Polachek as he heads back to the bench, and the puck ends up on the Northman side of the ice. Good chance right in front, and that shot deflecting off of, that was Tremblay in net, and shuffled back off to the left side. Logan Witten, the puck poked away, and now he's going to need some help from Alex Pickering. Flips it back to center. Staples whiffs on the dump in, and Niaz sends it back up ice. Pickering shuffles it to the near side of Governeau. And a Bronco fell down on the floor. That was Niaz, and Staples trying to feed it up to Perillo, and it's intercepted by Pickering. Pickering a little wide to the left of Mansloff. Puck dangles at center as it's displaced, kicked up by Ralph Turner. And sent back into the Northman side of the ice. Nate Gravel here. And now Pat Murphy trying to shadow him. Nate Gravel using some good maneuvers. That one off of Mansloff's shin. And a hard body check into the boards, but a good chance for Nick Carey. A little wide as it hits the protective glass and wrapped around back to the far side. Going behind the cage, and Boudreau couldn't seem to get a good shuffle pass that time over to Gansett Champagne. And brought down to the floor by Cam Laramie, who dumps it back in. Northmen struggling to keep the puck out of their offensive side. And right in front of the visiting bench, it's shuffled right back towards by Fournette. Connell back up to center. It's trapped out by Nate Gravel. And that one bounces off of Nate Niaz. And Niaz flips it around to the far side for Laramie. Back at center. And the Northmen. Both sides exchanging dump-offs. That one going right at Tremblay. And the pass this time up at center. And taken away by Carey. Broncos playing keep away with the 1-0 lead in half number one. And trying to set him up right in front of Mansloff. And this one cleared. However, and Tremblay managing to stop it down, so play will ensue as Perillo was trying to get a hold of it, but whistle called. Looks like we're going to get an offsides. 6:14 left to go in the first half. Score still 1-0 as the Burrillville Broncos lead early in game number 1 of the Burrillville Holiday Classic. Off the face-off draw, Northmen come up with it. Pickering deflecting it off the boards for Witten. And a good chance now for Boudreau. Brandon Boudreau tried to shuffle one behind the back. No one there, but the Northmen managed to dump it back in. Anderson checked hard into the boards that time by Boudreau. And another one shuffled down. Boudreau, he's right in the slot, and the puck cleared again by the Broncos. It's going to come right back. Icing, your call on the floor one more time. And as we ensue, it's back at center and tipped off the opposite way. And the Broncos, both sides, can't really seem to find many offensive scoring opportunities. The Broncos have already capitalized on one, but both goaltenders playing very good so far in this one. Michael Tremblay playing a decent game so far, as well as Devin Mansloff. Mansloff hasn't had a ton come his way, but we're seeing both teams pretty dead even in terms of shots on net. But at the point, this one shuffled back down, brought down to earth by Boudreau and Pickering. And icing the call, Northmen iced this puck back into their own side. And we thank each and every one of you for tuning in to each of Fans Only Sports live broadcasts as we continue to our live coverage of Rhode Island State hockey. And dumped forward. Good chance this time for Caden Artrus. Artrus trying to get this one behind his back. He had Fournette all over him, and Fournette dumps this puck forward, trying to get it set up for Polachek. Northmen keep it in the zone for Champagne. Gansett Champagne trying to cross it, and Nate Gravel finishes the deal for the Northmen to even this one up at the end of the near end of the first half. Score tied at 1 apiece. Excellent work by North Smithfield to maneuver into the offensive zone. Gansett Champagne with the assist to set up Nate Gravel. And they tie things up at 1 apiece on their 10th shot of the game. So we've got ourselves quite a game brewing in game number 1 of the Burrillville Holiday Classic. Nate Niaz tries to send one in, and Niaz going to shuffle it back up ice. Staples wasn't really ready for that one. And back at center, Niaz is going to try and get it that time over to Davis. Davis past Staples, and the Northmen come up with possession. Jackson Boys shuffles one right at Mansloff, a hard slap shot. And that'll stop play with 4:05 remaining in half number 1. Once again, Burrillville Holiday Classic Tournament will be broadcasted from today at 2 all the way until the 28th. Obviously, we won't go a full 40 to 72 hours of live broadcasts, but you can catch all 9 games of the Burrillville Holiday Classic right here on Fans Only Sports Network. You can purchase your single game passes at fansonlysports.com, but if you do have the high school season pass already, you have access to all of these games. So if you want to check out your favorite team, go to fansonlysports.com. That's sports with a Z to purchase your passes there. Pass neutral ice, and the Broncos give the puck away that time as Boudreau was trying to feed it off. But Boudreau, this one off of Mansloff as he tried to redirect. And the displaced puck heads back to center ice as Pickering sends it up to Witten. Logan Witten maneuvering around the defender. That shot into the protective glass. Northmen have found some newfound confidence in this matchup and in this bordering town rivalry. This one back to center and dumped back into the zone. Chasing after it is Laramie. And Laramie shuffling it up ice. Brought down by Gravel. Nate Gravel, he already has a goal in this one. Displacing the puck, gives it off to Ganson Champagne. Champagne into the attacking zone. Shuffles it behind for Artrus. And bounced off of Mansloff. And puck shuffled back through to center. Grudick, or excuse me, that was Connell. And a good chance right for the net shot. Score! Dean Perillo finds the threshold of the net as he shoots it right through the 5-hole of Tremblay. And the Broncos, after giving up a goal moments ago, they retake the lead. Score now 2-1 off the back of Dean Perillo. With 2:38 left to go in the first half. Back at center. Nate Gravel trying to make up for that one. Gravel shuffles it across. Champagne was in the vicinity. And Gravel trying to take this one away. This one right in front. However, Pat Murphy coming up with it for Burrillville. A lone man sends it right at Tremblay. And taken across by Connell. And on the near side, 2 minutes left to go in this first half of action. Niaz trying to play keep away. Niaz. And it's redirected by the Northman. Wide open lane as it's off of Mansloff and a save. Northman keeping the shot differential very close. This one heads into the protective netting. They'll stop play. 1:43 to go. Shots on net today. 17 for the Broncos. 14 for the Northmen. Both playing a very tightly contested game so far. It's been a very entertaining one to watch as of late. Off the face-off, Broncos come up with the win. Anderson shuffles it back through center, trying to get around another defender. He has two shattering behind him, trying to set it up, and the left side of the net was completely exposed. Polachek was on the ground for the Broncos. Couldn't come off the rebound, and the hand up. We got ourselves a penalty. So no penalty. Looks like it just might have been an offsides. So off the whistle. Sending one down. Puck chipped away by the defender. Backhanding attempt by Justin Espinal. And that one a little wide to the left to be called a shot. On goal, Espinal meets it and sends it back to Connell at the point. Espinal, the dump off there to Boyce. And the puck was dangling in the slot. And under a minute remaining in the first half. Fournette, this one given off to Espinal. Espinal with a breakaway, 3 players on him. A hard check from the back. Surprised nothing was called that time. It looks like the refs are just going to let these guys play it out. And this one dumped in by Boudreau and given off that time to Connell. Will Connell, this one to the left, and nearly came back at Mansloff. Could have deflected off him in there. 30 seconds remaining as Witten sends this puck forward, and a whistle to stop play with 27 seconds to go. And we'll face off back at center. And off the face-off, Broncos. They'll give it off to Anderson. Gabe Anderson, not much time to work with that shot, deflecting off defenders, and it's going to get dumped back in by Davis. First half about to expire as the Northmen come up with the possession, and a good chance for Murphy, and this puck staying on the near side board. Staples trying to chase it down. Anderson to meet it. But that'll all but do it for the first period of action. Your score, 2-1 as the Burrillville Broncos lead at the end of half number 1 here from the Burillville Holiday Classic. We'll let the Zamboni work its magic, and we'll be back for the start of the second half. 22 and a half minutes to go for the next half, and we'll be here to cover it all on Fans Only Sports Network. And oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up, and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
And oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up, and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
And oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up, and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
And oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up, and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
And oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up, and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
And oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up, and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
And oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up, and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, Throws it back in the end zone. Intercepted in the back of the end zone.
Justin fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
First try kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone. Intercepted in the back of the end zone.
Justin fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
First try kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone. Intercepted in the back of the end zone.
Justin fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
First try kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone. Intercepted in the back of the end zone.
Justin fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
First try kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone. Intercepted in the back of the end zone.
Justin fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
First try kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone. Intercepted in the back of the end zone.
Justin fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
First try kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone. Intercepted in the back of the end zone.
Justin fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
First try kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In, and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up, and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
Jumps in, fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In, and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up, and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
Jumps in, fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In, and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up, and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
Jumps in, fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
And we welcome you back to Levy Ice Rink here from Burrillville, Rhode Island. Score of the matchup in game number 1 of the Burrillville Holiday Classic, 2-1. Burrillville leading North Smithfield in an inter-town matchup. Neighboring towns, that is. Broncos managed to walk into the intermission break with their second goal of the game to take the lead. And the Northmen look to match that as they did earlier. As we're back underway, puck sent into the zone and chipped away from Governo. And that time Poisson sends it back to center. Puck travels in, it's cleared onside. Connell was the first to meet it, but Nick Carey comes up with it. It's flipped behind the side of Connor Davis, and a good chance coming for Witten. Logan Witten feeding a man, and that time it was Governo who couldn't finish off the deal. Puck continues to circulate around the near side and back in front of the benches. Carey trying to maneuver around, a good poke check that time from Connell. And on the far side, trapped down in front of the boards by Camden Governo and sent over to Ralph Turner. In front of the benches and dumped away for Fournette. Fournette that time getting it over to Cam Laramie. And it's dumped into the zone by Governo. Gravel tried to flip it across as it went between the legs of Gansett Champagne. And another one rifled down. Whiff chance from Caden Artruse. And whistle called, icing. Puck will return to the Broncos side of the ice for a face-off. Devin Mansloff and Michael Tremblay have both played very well on their respective sides of the net. And we'll see who gives away another goal in this one to give a team an advantage or even up the affair. Polacek with the feed that time, trying to get it in front to Anderson in the slot. And the Northmen effectively clear the puck. There is no icing call as Fournette feeds it past Anderson. Looked like a little dazed. He's going to have to chase this one down. Anderson, and a good poke that time as he fell to his behind and slid across ice. Anderson behind the cage, trying to find an open man, trying to find it in between to the back door. And Niaz couldn't trap it down. Will Connell, he has one man to beat. He's got to get around Davis. Davis, though, doing a good job defensively to shadow him, and Niaz to make the key stop. Nobody there. A good one-on-one chance. A pass off the crosser. Tremblay on the floor. And the puck travels in for a goal. Broncos take full advantage of the 2-on-1 opportunity. And they capitalize off the back of number 12. That's Evan Polachek. And the Northmen find themselves down by 2 as they take a 3-1 lead, the Broncos. With 20:14 to go in the second half of action. And back in the action, the Broncos come up with the face-off again. Carey trying to shadow in front of Tremblay. And Carey comes up with it once again. Tries to shuffle it across for Anderson right in front of the net. Anderson poking it right at Tremblay a whole bunch. And back to center. Here comes Boudreau. Brandon Boudreau. Nice move to stop the puck right in front of Staples. And trying to find some separation. Has the man Witten. Witten sends one down. Goes past Mansloff off to the left. On the near side boards. And taken away here by Gravel. Gravel with the goal earlier. And that one bounced off of Mansloff cleanly. And here come the Broncos offense. Staples giving it off to Carey. Nick Carey, the puck shuffled behind him. And now here comes Camden Governeau. Governeau with the feed up to Gravel. Gravel stops, redirects. Gravel rifles one, hits the top of the net and bounces in. His second of the game. And the Northmen strike back quickly. Nate Gravel, the sniper, to come in with that one, evening, bringing the game within even. Score now sits at 3-2. North Smithfield found themselves down by 2. They bring it back within 1. We'll see if they can even it back up. Artrus giving it up to Gravel. Another rifled shot at Mansloff. And the Northmen have really woken up off of the offensive production of Nate Gravel. $18:56 to go in this second half. And shuffled back towards center. Broncos tried to lead the pass there. And Pickering trying to chase it down. It's going to wrap around the backside of the net. Boys trying to get over it. And it's trapped down at the blue line. The Broncos are going to have to get back on side. Niaz flipping it over that time. And a whistle called. There's a whole bunch of crowd noise cheering on to stop the play. And we'll come back and face off at center ice. Northmen win the face-off draw. Bounced off the penalty box glass and now flipped over by Polachek. Champagne displaces the puck and Anderson pokes it away from him. However, William Connell trying to poke that one out. Connell deflecting it off the glass and it's dumped away. A race for the puck is Laramie and Espinal. Laramie feeding it back up front and it can't be trapped down as Benoit, excuse me. Benoit, the French pronunciation of that. Here in North Smithfield, Benoit, the correct pronunciation. Anderson, the feed that time up to Perillo. Dean Perillo trying to navigate around the defender and a good takeaway. And now they come back up to center off of Jackson. Boy, is that one over the top of Mansloff. And sent towards the defender, Niaz. Niaz playing keep away, but the Northmen come up with the possession. Connell off the displaced puck. It's flipped around the backside of the boards, and now Polachek can't come up with it back at center. Champagne, and now Gravel. No, excuse me, that was Boudreau. Broncos defense struggling to clear the puck, and they eventually do. However, they'll face off back on their side as icing is your call on the floor. And you're watching Fans Only Sports. Today's game's brought to you in part by Joseph Lammy, 696 Reservoir Ave in Cranston, Rhode Island. For more information, visit josephlammy.com. Joseph Lammy, attorney at law. And then by our elite recruits, with access to 3,000 schools and 80,000 coaches across 38 NCAA sports. For high school athletes looking to play at the next level, be seen by going to RR Elite Recruits. Visit www.rreliterecruits.com to sign for more information. Now back to center ice as the puck's cleared through neutral territory. Niaz trying to bring it across for the Broncos, and he will. Has quite a bit of Northman defenders on top of him, and the Northmen come away with the possession. It's stopped and dumped back in off the backside boards from Laramie. On the near side, dumped away again by Carey. Carey trying to set up Patrick Poisson. Poisson trying to back check and keep it away as Boudreau. This one intercepted. It's sent right back at Tremblay. First shot we've seen in a while as Rodney Fournette takes a shot. And we'll stop play as the net came off the moorings. .16:15 left to play. And your score 3-2. Burillville leading North Smithfield in this intertown matchup, rivalry I should say. Both schools definitely a strong rivalry throughout. Football and hockey, a good chance here coming from Artrus, and Mansloff makes the tough save as he had pressure right in his face. Off the face-off win, it's dumped back to center ice. Champagne flips it behind the back to the near side boards, and now bringing it across that time is Poisson. And one sent down, and the Northmen come up with it defensively. And flipping it behind the back for Gravel, and trying to get it over to Gravel. It's sent back as Connell's the first to meet it for the Northmen. Dumps it back around that time. Chance in front. Gravel has a lot of defenders in front of him. Broncos can't even seem to come up with the displaced puck as Poisson makes a mistake sending it towards Tremblay. Goes right to him, and Connell going to have to clear it back to center. Going between the wickets of defenders, and now Davis flipping it to Nate Niaz. Niaz back to Davis. Davis playing some dangerous keep away. Niaz going to have to really rocket this one to Anderson back at center. Champagne meets it. Gansett Champagne across the blue line. Trying to cut in between defenders. Sends one across in front of Niaz with nobody shadowing it. Boyes sends one down at Mansloff, and it's deflected away. Niaz. Broncos with a lot of pressure in these last few sequences, and now taking away that time. Patrolling through center ice, flipped up, and Gansett Champagne clears it back to neutral territory. Laramie feeds it back up front for Pat Murphy. And a little bit of hooking almost, but no call made. We got a delayed penalty. It's going to come. Or no, there will be no delayed penalty. Referee decides to put his arm down. Fournette. Pass was intended for Anderson, and it goes past Carey. Laramie patrols back to center. It's flipped up and knocked off the skate that time of a Northman attacker. And each side playing keep away through neutral. Poisson has two defenders knocked down. Nearly hooked there. A good chance. The shot hits the protective glass as that was Frankie Staples trying to take a chance. Poisson still trying to maneuver it. It hits the backside of the net and flipped away back towards center. Niaz gives it off that time, and it's brought into the zone by Carey. Bouncing off of Tremblay, and we'll get a stoppage of play with 13:27 to go. Let's get a word from our sponsors at Precision Homelanders.
Want to close your home purchase or refinance faster? Contact me, David Delbonis, at 401-487-7379, President Precision Home Lending. Trust the experts and we'll make your loan experience amazing.
And a big chance right off the shot there. Backhanded attempt. And sent back up to the point to Niaz. Niaz kicking it away with the skates, giving it off to Polachek. Polachek having some discomfort, and Connell clears it back for the Northman. Witten trying to chase down Niaz. Boxes him up against the far side, and Niaz using the skates to his advantage to poke the puck away. And he'll redirect and go back the opposite way to Anderson. Good feed up front to Perillo. Perillo dumps it in. Tremblay coming out of the net to stop the puck. And Connell flips it around the far side. Poisson to Laramie. Laramie, it escapes Polachek, and he's going to have to retreat to the bench. And that one trying to lead Nate Gravel. Nate Gravel is one defender to beat. This one right off of Mansloff. Nate Gravel with 2 goals already in the game so far has had himself quite a day. Another one flipped over the top of the net that time. And on the near side, another one shuffled in, nearly deflected away. As that was Ralph Turner to send one down. Poisson trying to help his defenders clear, and the Northmen, it's going to deflect off one of their own men off sides, the call.
That's why. That's why. Just run the clock. Now you got it all screwed up. No, here.
And taken back up by Carey. Nick Carey. Puck escapes him that time. And it's shuffled back up to center. Broncos quickly having to retreat. Davis the first to make the first contact. Anderson. And taken away from Governo. Camden Governo. This one going all the way back to Mansloff. And the stoppage made behind the net by Niaz. Going across ice. And going to come back, icing the call on the floor. 11:07 to go. We'll give you the final word from today's game sponsors. Today's game's brought to you in part by Joseph Lammy, 696 Reservoir Ave in Cranston, Rhode Island. For more information, go to josephlammy.com. Joseph Lammy, attorney at law. And then finally by RR Elite Recruits, with access to 3,000 schools and 80,000 coaches across 38 NCAA sports. For athletes looking to play at the next level, be seen by going to RR Elite Recruits today. Visit www.rreliterecruits.com to sign for more information. Back to the near side. And the Northmen trying to play some keep away from the Broncos. Broncos have other ideas in mind as Rodney Fournette is going to send this one in. And wrapped around for Polachek. Poisson rifling one off of the protective glass. And the Northmen now bring it up through center. Here comes Nate Gravel, the speedster and the sharpshooter for this unit as he dumps it back in. Behind Gravel. Gravel could have met it first at center, but it's taken away by Evan Polachek. Polachek maneuvering through 2 before it's poked away by Connell. That one going right at Tremblay. And it stays in play. However, it looked like the puck came across the blue line. So offsides, the call on the floor once again with 10:06 left to go. In a very, very close matchup. A nail biter, if you may. And don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. Following this matchup between the Burillville Broncos will be East Greenwich versus Cumberland, so stay tuned for that one. As They get another stoppage of play off the save. Dumped back in and poked away that time from Pat Murphy. Sent behind the back of Boudreaux. And stopped down by Anderson, who flips it back in towards the slot. Taken away, and a good chance. Nobody can seem to gain any separation. This puck really doing a whole lot of dangling in front. And Mansloff going to let that one go right by him and give his offense another opportunity off the icing. .9:29 remaining in this second half, and in regulation for that matter. Wrapped around to the far side and fed up to Nate Gravel. Here comes Nate Gravel, sending one at Mansloff. A hard rifled shot into the chest. Off the wrister. And Gravel, it deflects in. No, did they say it went in? It didn't. I heard it bang off the post. But are they going to give it to him? They're saying no. Gravel, you can see he wanted that hat trick really badly. And what a good expression on his face right there. He's just like, come on, man. Could have given me my third goal and kept my team in a much more contested matchup. As if it's not already contested enough. Another one coming down at Mansloff from Cottle. And it's knocked down to the floor. Poisson to bring the puck back up. Could have had some instant replay potentially if we had more camera angles from all accords, and a whistle to stop play as Tremblay makes the save. Could have sworn the puck might have broken the threshold, as we did hear it bang off the post. However, the refs are going to say no goal. Mansloff definitely a sigh of relief after that big save. And off the face-off. It's taken away by Davis, who sends this one off to the right. Another one coming down right in front of Tremblay. And trying to set up in the slot, and Northman defense comes up big. Here comes Logan Witten. Witten trying to maneuver through the wickets of Niaz. It goes off behind towards the boards. And on the near side, both teams continue to battle for possession, and Anderson coming up with it. A nice deke and a pass and a whistle. And that's going to send Logan Witten to the box and Nate Niaz. Don't know if it'll be for roughing. It looks like it will be for roughing on both sides. So 4-on-4, going to be the call on the floor. Going to be the call on the floor. And so it's going to remain 5-on-5. These players will just hit the box and just wait their timeout. And trying to set one up in front. That was going to be a lazy attempt that time, as Artrus couldn't seem to deflect the puck away, but at the point, it's brought into the slot. This one off of Mansloff's shin pads and knocked away. Hard slap shot coming from Alex Pickering. And a good maneuver from Patrick Poisson, giving it off that time. Moving through center, poked away back to Murphy, who dumps it in. Under a minute and 20 on the penalties. And knocked away. And excuse me, the man in net now for the Broncos is number 32. That's Riley Caron in net, as Mansloff's day is over. It's been over, I believe, maybe for quite some time. This shot little off to the right. Must have switched off goaltenders at half. Tremblay still in the net for North Smithfield. And taking it up behind the net. And poked down right in front. Chance as it bounces off of Tremblay. Tried to quickly sneak one through on the glove side. But the Northman rifling up ice is Nate Gravel. And Gravel, his puck sent back the opposite way for Carey. Carey, off of Tremblay's stick. Puck still in play. Escaping Laramie as the puck's displaced. However, the displacement will end up in icing. And now for the face-off on the Northman side. 6:33 to go. Not much time for the Northmen to make things even. If they're going to want to do it, they're going to have to do it soon. And here's a great opportunity for Camden Governo. Governo, it's poked away from Staples. It's given off. That time to Governo. Another one coming down. This one wide to the left. And brought back up to center ice. Boyes tangled up with Murphy. And the Broncos have a scoring opportunity potentially. It's poked away. A lot of good poke checks from either side today. Great defensive efforts on all accords. It's been a very entertaining game from start to finish so far. This one traveling behind the back of Gravel to Jackson Boyes, and the pass deflecting off the skates of Gravel. And flipped out of play, nearly hitting some spectators in the crowd with 5:43 left to go. So those roughing penalties will now expire. Both Nias and Witten will head to the bench off of those roughing calls. And kicked away. Northman nearly came away with the face-off, but Gabe Anderson says thank you very much. Here comes Nick Carey, one-on-one with the goaltender. Finds the back of the net. Nick Carey puts the Broncos up now 4-2 and brings the differential back within 2. A great breakaway one-time wrister for the number 22 of Nick Carey. Nate Gravel to take this one up. It bounces off of the pads of Karen and net, and that'll stop play with 5:28. Carey unassisted on that breakaway, and it was an excellent breakaway. He had a defender right on his back, but kept his calm, kept his poise, gives the advantage to Burillville. And Gravel trying to take advantage of the face-off win. It's stopped down by Gansett Champagne. Champagne trying to maneuver. He'll send it behind the back to Artruse. That one bouncing off of Karen, at the point. Trapped down by Pickering. Another one coming down towards Karen. And trapped down again by Champagne. Champagne wide to the left of the net that time. Pickering, and it's poked away by Perillo. Dean Perillo trying to race down ice against Pickering. Pickering coming up with it, and he'll flip it that time over to one of his offensive teammates. Tipped off the stick of Patrick Poisson, and through the wickets, giving it off cleanly. Broncos dump the puck back in. Davis to Nias. Back to Davis. Gravel shadowing Davis, and it's slapped away by Frankie Staples and dumped back into the zone. Staples gets it in front of the benches as he's tripped up right in front of the visiting bench. Poisson rifles one at Tremblay, and another save. 34 shots on net for the Broncos, 30 for the Northmen. It's been very dead even in shots on net. Probably the closest shot differential I've seen all year from all the games I've witnessed here on Fans Only Sports. And it's definitely what's made this one a good one. Defenders trying to poke the puck away from Anderson. Tried to backhand it through the back door, and he gets it up to Laramie. Laramie that time to Fournette. Fournette sends one right in front of Tremblay. Tremblay can't seem to come up with the puck. And the Northmen continue to play keep away in their own zone. And shuffled up that time to Boyes. Boyes trying to get around Fournette. And the puck lazily gets displaced as Benoit can't get around Laramie. And the Broncos can't seem to clear it. Another chance for Boyes as it goes around Karen's cage. Polacek takes it through center. The dump up that time to Carey. Nick Carey. That one a little wide to the left of Tremblay in net. And he gets it up to Connell. Connell shuffles it past Benoit. And now through center, it's dumped in and deflected off of Connell. Going to Tremblay. He's going to make the wise decision to glove the puck down and stop play. And the rest of the games today, once again, be sure to tune in at around 3:30 for East Greenwich taking on Cumberland. Followed off, finishing off the night, Pontigansett against Moses Brown. All 6 of these teams will be meeting against each other once of the 3 days will be here. All right, here on Fans Only Sports Network. And taken back to center. It's dumped away. Past Nias and Davis. Right in front of Karen. And this one, another one in front of him. 3 straight shots on Karen's net. And we got the hand up from the referee. A delayed penalty. It looks like it's going to go against Burillville. And there it is. Calling the play dead on the floor. So an interference called against Patrick Poisson. It's going to put him in the box for 2 minutes. So the Northmen, with 2:21 left to go in game, have a chance to bring it back within 1 on the power play. Broncos already trying to trap the puck down. Connell waits for it at the blue line, sending it down. Another one, this one off of Karen. That was Boudreau to take the shot. And it's cleared back at center ice. Connell sends it over to Boudreau. Boudreau gets onside. Letting his teammates get set. Boudreau that time to Governo. Governo back to Boudreau. Boudreau to Connell. Back to Boudreau, and now that time to Governo. Boudreau trying to find the opening. He gets it to Connell. Connell sends one down right at Karen, who makes the stop. 1:10 left on the penalty, 1:31 in regulation. And underway, under a minute and a half now in regulation. Just about a minute left on the penalty. Sends one right at Karen, gloving that one up for a save. Shots dead even now at 35 apiece. 1 solid minute left on penalties. That was gravel getting tripped up, and it's retreated back to center, taken away by Champagne. And being brought up here off of Karen. Northmen, first time they've led in shots on goal all day. And now Champagne. And little Not really using the senses to his advantage, as you could clearly see an offsides call there on the floor. 55 left to go in seconds. 34 on the power play. Broncos doing their best to put the game on ice as the Northmen dump it back in. Laramie clears it back to center, and the PK unit does its job to kill more of this penalty off. Back to center. Witten leads Boudreau. Boudreau sending another one down. It wraps in the back of the net for the Northmen. Apologies, we don't have number 17's number, but give him the number 6, That was Camden Governo to deflect the puck in. Number 17 to set him up there. And now the score 4-3 with just 25 seconds left to go, as the Northmen get a power play goal. As this game's brought within dead even. They have 25 seconds to tie the game up before the end of Game 1 of the Burillville Winter Classic. Crossing the blue line, here come the Northmen. Witten can't get set up, and Frankie Staples comes up with it for the Broncos, flipping it away. Empty net set up. Broncos trying to get something before the end. Governo brings it up with under 10 seconds, sending one across on the near side. Another one, Gravel whiffed on the shot, and that will do it. The last gasp could not be pulled off, and the Burillville Broncos escape Game 1 of the Burillville Winter Classic, 4-3, the final. And for those of you tuning in, we'll hopefully see you on board for the next broadcast right here on Fans Only Sports Network. Thank you for tuning in to the game number 1. Score, Burillville 4, North Smithfield 3. We'll tune in on the next one. Thank you.